That was the best that Philly has looked all year. And what made that thing, before I bring Gary Cobb up, there's no question that thing was trending for Matthew Stafford to have 375 yards and for Cooper Kupp to go for 200 yards. And that's the first time you saw this adjusting with pressure. Something you never saw a year ago. Desai brought pressure. He was changing personnel up in the secondary too, which to me is something Gannon wouldn't do. He's a plug-and-play guy. I felt more comfortable with Sean Desai coming out of that Rams game, especially the second half, than I did at any time last year with Jonathan Gannon. Alex goes, my biggest concern is our O's red zone efficiency. 2 for 6, got to improve when you get to these better teams. Let's bring Fox 29 Gary Cobb up right now. Gary, I hope you were listening to me what I said there, but I'll tell you what, man, I came away from that game, before we get to the players and some of the numbers in the game, I came away going like this with Sean Desai and Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
They had a good day, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And what you were saying about the adjustments in the second half. Now, going into the game, I was doing on our show joking a little bit, but I wasn't really joking when I was saying that, they're going to throw for 400 yards. I mean, if they play like they did, in the previous week, but they did make an adjustment, and what it did is it threw the timing off for them. And that's why, you got to change up. You can't just, play like I really was kind of mad at Bradbury on that touchdown down by the end zone. Immediately goes up in a press, showing them what he's playing. Why you got to go up right away? You could creep up. So you come up, but he looked over there. He knows he's one-on-one with him. He knows right away. That's where he's going with the ball. He sees where the safety is. Okay, the safety can't get there. That's where I'm going. Why are you going to give a guy that clear of a read? Why? Walk up, walk back. He's not sure. Is he up? Is he back? And it seems like something trivial, but if you ask a quarterback, does he like to look out and guys are just stationary where they are? Exactly what the coverage is. It makes things easier for them. And especially with the fact when you do put pressure on them, see, it speeds things up, especially like they had a couple of guys came late on the blitz. It screwed them up. The back is going out. He's not sure. They're coming, they're not. I mean, why are you going to make it easy on the offense? And then sometimes you want to go over and talk to your teammates. Say, hey, what do you hate? What does the defense do that you hate? They don't like it when they're not sure. The guy looks like he could go. Is he coming? Is he not coming? And you know that when a safety times up that blitz right, and now all the blockers have committed. They're not sure, and that guy comes late. So different things like that. I hate to see guy just let the guy know this is what we're in. So Bradbury walked up, and they knew right away that's where they were going, and it happened that he got a step on him, and he made a good throw, and he didn't play the ball, and so it just was it's unfortunate, but they did change things up in the second half, and you got a veteran quarterback like Stafford. It threw him off.
Yeah, it did.
It threw them off. There are different times where he wasn't sure where they're going. They messed up, a little confusion. Come on. Don't give those guys too much credit. And that is the number one thing. You don't give the opponent too much credit, like they're so smart that they're going to get it. No. You got pressure. There are times when, you look at something and you don't look at it correctly. I know from playing linebacker, you look at something and you don't read it correctly. But if they're moving around, you're not sure. If they're going to come out and get an exact formation and there's no change, I mean, come on. You see how they use motion, all of the good. Come on. Look at the way these guys are using motion now. Now, when I was playing, I'll be honest, they didn't do all of that.
No.
They
lined up in I formation and came at you.
That's right. But with the motion and with the fact that you don't know if the guy is he going to be, and they'll snap the ball when he's right near the center. You're going like, you're not sure. And it messes up if you got different assignments where if he's on this side, you're playing this. You got him, and guys make mistakes, and so you make those guys, give them chances to make mistakes, and you leave that gray area. But I got to give them credit for the way they played in the second half, the Eagles defense, because I'm telling you, I thought they were going to get smoked.
I did too, especially since they went right down with them in the second drive. Once the Eagles really came off a great drive. Are you concerned with Slay's play?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played well. I mean, they have no problem now going at him. You notice how they throw at the guy.
They went right at him.
Went right at him. I mean, and this has been a couple of weeks in a row where they've said, look, we don't have any problem going at him. And he's he was, and he has a feel for it. Come on, he's a veteran guy. Come on. Slay knows you can't play off 10 yards off a receiver. You're down in the red zone. What are you doing? Just backing up. Come on, you can't make the stuff that easy. Now, if you want to play off of a guy, why do you have to show him right away at the start? You can move up. You could be in a gray area where they don't know whether you're going to come up or go back. I mean, it sounds like it's no big deal, but if you talk to a quarterback, it's a big deal. If you move around just a little bit, giving them a little look, especially if they know that you do different things, like you're a certain depth when you're blitzing, the cornerback, sending the cornerback off the corner sometimes. You don't want to give the opponent too much credit, like they're so smart that they won't make some mistakes, because they will. The best will make mistakes.
Absolutely, Gary. Getting Goedert going, he like almost was like, it was almost like they were like, everything that they didn't do with him, they wanted to do in this game. And it just shows you, he and Swift, man, are those guys weapons?
They're weapons. And you see with Goedert, you see once he runs over a few of those DBs, those guys don't want to tackle him, man.
No.
Come on. He ran over 3 or 4 of them. I mean, because the guy's 250, 260 pounds. Coming down there, running at them, those DBs, they'll sit there and they'll lie to you. I ain't got no problem tackling them.
Yeah,
tackle
right.
Enjoy yourself. He ran over a few of them. And the guy's a great athlete. You see, he's got good hands. He's another weapon. And he's something else to worry about. And you see, like the route he ran in the end zone for that touchdown. It's a delicate route. He's smart. He's a smart player. He's a team guy, and just another great asset. And really, if they want to get where they want to get to, you got to make the defense cover all of them. See?
Absolutely, Gary. I'll tell you something. That was the first time we've seen Jalen Hurts look like Jalen Hurts. And I'll tell you, the play of the game, for me at least, was in the third quarter. They were up 17-14, and he had to get that first down, and he broke that tackle.
Yeah.
And which means to me, and as you know, when you're third and long, dude, and you got a guy pinned, and you got him down before the sticks, and he breaks your back like that, I know he was great in the passing game, but shit, Gary, that's when you're undefensible.
It hurts. It really takes a lot of the confidence out of the defense. It's like in the movies, when you see the movies growing up, seeing the movies, when the guy puts that dagger in him, they show the eyes.
Yeah, no, you're like, damn.
That's right. It takes the gas out of everybody. But, and those are things Jalen is he's capable of. And if you're trying to win a game, you want to try to keep him healthy. But, there are times when he's one-on-one and things, the chances of him getting hurt are not as high. When he's out there, he's one-on-one with a guy. He's got the kind of strength, where he surprises a guy of how strong he is. And, a lot of times, you assume the quarterback is the one, once I hit him, he's going to go to the ground. And when he does it, he startles guys. But he definitely, he played like a champion there yesterday. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was a great play. And, you got Goedert in there and they utilize him that much. And now they can just get into the flow where, hey, we're going to take what you give us. Meaning like they want to try to cover a guy with a guy that can't cover him. We're going to him. So they can feature all of these guys they can feature. And you see how they're good enough. And a lot of teams can't say this, where you've got 3 or 4 players that can take over a game. Now how many tight ends? There are not a lot of tight ends can do all he did yesterday, where he just takes over the game. He's
Great
running over their DBs. He's outrunning guys. You know, they try to put a big guy on him. He's outrunning him. The little guy he's running over. You know, that type of talent. And you know you got that with AJ. You got that with Devontae. You got that with Swift. You know, that says a lot. Teams don't have that. That's the thing they have. And, of course, with Jalen with his legs, you got all these things for a defense coordinator. I know just sitting down, putting out a game plan together against them, you're going to be up all night, man. Because
there's too many weapons to have to go around.
And then that line, that offensive line, come on, you got them too.
Hey,
you know?
I'm going to tell you my favorite performance of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Suopeta
Yeah,
is going to make him some big ass bucks. He's in a contract year.
Yeah.
Gary, so watch this. So when I'm in a free agent year and the Eagles have to decide, I ain't moving that guy out, and I give my agent to tape me kicking the shit out of Aaron Donald all day long, and he's a non-factor. I'm going to go, do you have any game tape of you playing? Yeah, here's me against Aaron Donald. How'd he do? No tackles, no pressures, no sacks, no nothing. I killed him. Even in one-on-ones. Gary, I was so impressed with that kid, man. What a performance.
Yeah. You know, they've had and that's the reason they're 5-0. They've had different parts of the team bail another part of the team out. And they've had them step. Now, yesterday was a pretty solid performance. Even though, you know, with the offense, the big thing is they didn't put the ball in the end zone with all those opportunities. They could have had that game put away, and they let them stay around. And you know, against good team, of course, that comes back and that really hurts you, you know, and makes you just yeah. Now, who were the Cowboys playing? They played yesterday too, did they? Oh,
I think they did. Hey, Gary, I'm not sure what that thing. Listen to this, Gary. Check this out. So wait a minute. Just to give you a little insight here on how that thing looked and how bad that thing looked. Hey, I got the numbers. Here it is.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys had 8 first downs, 49 total plays, 197 total yards.
Whew.
Hey, it gets better. 57 yards rushing.
Man.
Had the ball for 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
And they put 42 on them.
Hey, and you know they could have put more. They were pedaling down. Hey, that was a butt whooping, boy.
Don't ever tell me that guy Micah Parsons is in Lawrence Taylor's league.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, you're right. Come on. Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, the thing about, you know, and they did make this mistake, and they were saying that about matching them up. You know, come on. You know, they got some grown men on the 49ers. You got to give them credit, man.
December 3rd, Gary, how big's that game now?
That is going to be a big one. That's going to be some fun, man. But that's, you know, that's like when they had, you know, different rivalries where you got, you know, San Francisco was playing the Cowboys when both of them had elite teams, you know. And so that's what you're going to see when the Eagles get to play them. I mean, because you got those different lines, the offensive and defensive line matched up against each other. They got a lot of grown men up there, see. That is going to be –
If you're the Cowboys, do you move on from Dak?
Hey, I mean, you definitely got to be thinking that because what are you playing?
$50 million.
I know. I mean, you got to be thinking, you know, and I think that's probably why they signed that kid, you know.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, that they got him from the Niners, but
so you go from Dak to Trey Lance?
Well,
holy shit!
No,
hey, Gary, you might as well get on the Titanic. The only difference is I know the boat hits the iceberg. At least those poor folks didn't know the iceberg was out there.
Hey, but I think it is clear, you know, that Dak, man, he's never shown the Quiñones to step up in a big game, make plays. Come on, man. You're playing against a good defense. This is when we need you to show what you're worth. I mean, come on.
Gary, not only are you not the elite team in the NFC, you're not even the elite team in the NFC East.
I know.
And you're the Cowboys. You know what? Am I right when I say this, that team is lesser even, it looks right now, than last year's team?
You know, it really looked like that. When you got somebody punch them in the mouth.
Arizona punched him in the face. Yeah, guess what I heard today?
They did.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy goes like this. Yeah, we're going to throw the Arizona tape away. Then we're going to throw the 49. How many tapes you going to throw away? You only had 5 games this year. I mean, you got to watch something, man. What are you going to watch, Follies?
Well, it basically shows you. When they got somebody they can punk, you know.
Cowboys did get punked, man.
Hey,
how do you get punked 2 weeks out of 3 weeks like that?
I mean, that says something about, you know.
And one of the teams is the Cardinals.
I know. I mean, it says something about the fact that in the games where everything is rolling, okay, then they got guys can roll. Look. What we really find out about you is when you punch the guy and then he punches you back. Now we find out who is who.
Dallas Ducks.
I mean,
hey, these two guys are bullies. The Eagles and the Niners are bullies.
Yes.
When the Cowboys get into a fight with you, they're trying to bob and weave and duck.
That's right.
Well, dude, when you get into a fight with a power puncher, the difference, and Gary, George Foreman was on the program about a year ago, and he goes, hey, Sills, I'm not trying to win a round. I'm trying to win the fight.
That's right.
So that's what the Eagles and the 49ers do. They're not trying to win a quarter. They're trying to win the game.
Yeah.
And they're going to knock you out. The Cowboys are not – this is crazy to say. The Cowboys are not a physical – they haven't been physical, right, Gary?
They haven't been physical.
Jimmy.
Yeah. They have not been physical. That's clearly what it is, because when they get against a team that's physical with them, you can bully them, meaning you can run the ball on them. You have no problem. You just, the way they flourish is when you're throwing, they got a pass rush. But you can negate that with a running game, see? Then you slow down that pass rush, and you see nobody's having a good time. You know, they're having a good time when they're rushing, they're sacking you, and they're running back turnovers. But when they got to play, you don't see anybody having any fun. Well, I thought you guys were big time. You know this, when you get a good team, that's when we find out what's in you. What you got in here? What kind of heart do you have? If you don't only fight when you got a guy that the time you hit him, he's falling down. I mean, what kind of heart is that showing? That's not. You find out what's going on when you hit the guy, then he hits you back.
That's right. I want to be right. They're just not tough. Finally, here for you.
I mean, because they should at least be able to stay in the game.
Oh, they were never in it for maybe 10 minutes.
That's right.
I mean, it was some of the worst ball I think they've played in the last 20 years. I'll throw this at you here. I said that Jalen Carter was going to be the next Jerome Brown, but I got to tell you something here, and I'm dare not going to say the 92 guy, but I got to tell you, man, when he got that first step on that center, when he came out of halftime, I mean, you've played behind Jerome, and you saw them dudes. I got to tell you, man, that first step on him, boy, that's in that group, isn't it? That's an elite first step he has, Jalen Carter.
See, they're amazing. You see, you're amazing. Like, I've sat there and watched him. I'm looking at him, seeing his size and everything, and he's so thick. You don't expect to see that explosive, that quickness out of a guy that big. You don't expect to see that. But when I was out there at camp, I saw that. I could see where the guy's got quickness and he's got power. Those two going together, man. And you can see he's got a feel for the game, which is really probably the most extraordinary thing, because he's so young. Most of the time, a guy does not have a feel for some of these things, but he's got a feel for, pass rushing. He just got an innate feel for it. Just like I said, guys in other areas where there are guys that have been in the league for a long time that don't have the feel that he has. Like, he knows how to get a guy's, a center of gravity off and then toss him. Now, see, Reggie used to do that.
Yep.
People would talk about him being so powerful. No, he would get the guy's center of gravity off and toss him. Because once a big guy's center of gravity gets off, man, they're in trouble. Yeah,
he'd hump you, man. Once he threw that hump on you, man,
he'd
throw Nate on his head.
I know.
Nate, Eric Williams, he threw them big dudes on their heads, man, like they were 200-pound guys.
That's right.
You know how many people used to try that move and everyone just goes, how in the hell does he get that leverage play? And he was like 6'6".
That's right.
And you're sitting there going, man, I have never seen anybody in my life duplicate that move. Hey, I got to sneak this in on you
because it makes the offensive lineman look so bad too.
Oh God.
And they
get thrown. Do you remember when Chris Carter, that guy threw that offensive lineman into Chris Carter, then Chris Carter got knocked into Warren Moon?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going like, so wait a minute, he knocked out 3 guys? Dude, hey, so Gary, I talked to Rich McKay, the chairman of the competition committee. This is how they're going to address the brotherly shove. Ready?
Okay. What are they going to do?
They're going to say that it is a play that could be too dangerous for health, and it could be something that we have to take into concern for player safety. Your thoughts?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way they go because
it's total bullshit, though, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. But I clearly expect them to try to take it down because there are a lot of people have been negative about it. So I expect it, and it just seems like, and this is the big thing, is the Eagles have been the only ones to master it. These other people are trying it. They haven't mastered it. The Eagles have mastered it, and believe me, like yesterday, really, they kind of went too far. They ran it when it was like 4th and 3. I mean, 1 yard, 2 yard, 3. Come on, not 3 yards, you guys. So they kind of took it to an extreme there. But the thing is, it seems like they're getting better at it.
I know. How would you stop that play?
Well, you got to have.
They have a quick center.
They have a quick center. That's right.
He gets the ball back in his hand quick.
Yep.
And because that guy's an athlete, in my opinion, I think it's got everything to do, Gary, with that snap count and how quick both Kelsey and Hurts are, because they're quick twitch guys.
That's right.
And they know the snap count. I think it's all to do with the snap count.
Well, I tell you what, and maybe that's what it is, but I tell you, they run it so much better than everybody else. I mean, it's, and nobody's been, it seems like I said, they're getting better. Where, now they get 2 yards.
They're never going to stop that play.
No.
Hey, they're going to have to just put a white flag on that.
You got a lot of the owners making that call.
Rule, Gary, new rule 1357. It's called the Philly rule. Yeah. We're just taking it out.
That's right.
Because it's too unfair, man. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much, Gary.
Have a good one.
You got it. Our good friend Gary Cobb from Fox 29. We're going to take a timeout, hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Football and Hooters, the perfect pair.